Yo, what's going on, Providence Church? So, right now I'm here at my house. I'm surviving the pandemic that's going on. I'm surviving the coronavirus, and Chase asked me to do a little devotional, and you guys can too. So, what we want you to do is, if you guys are bored like me and have nothing else to do, you can go Anchorman style. Like, you don't know if I'm wearing pants or not. So, today I want to talk to you guys about John. And so in the Gospel of John, we actually, in the first chapter, we're confronted with a character named John the Baptist. And he probably wouldn't fit into a Baptist church. In Matthew chapter 3, it tells us that John wore cameled hair clothing. And so I imagine this big sweatshirt, kind of like a Visco girl. You can't really see if he's wearing pants or not. And he's just in this big camel hair sweatshirt. It says to tie that outfit together, he wore a leather sash or a leather belt and carried a bag. It says that his diet consisted of only locusts and honey. So this dude was like the original hipster of our church, like Anna Hunley has nothing on this guy. And so we see John the Baptist, who's this weird kind of hippie guy. He has like a prophetic voice in the Gospels where he's like, turn from your sin no more. And then he dunks people in water. He baptizes them, and that's kind of where he got his name. And so the other reason that I don't think he's quite a Baptist, he kind of fits more into like Providence Church, is that he doesn't eat like a Baptist. He only eats locust and honey. And like, you see them people at Providence Church, they're a little skinny. They ain't like me. And so like, I fit in more with the Baptists, you know what I'm saying? So like, we like to eat. Okay, so let's go ahead and open our Bibles up to John chapter 1. And in John 1, we're just kind of going to run through like what it has to say. So it says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men, the light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. So what we're seeing is it's talking about Jesus. The beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Jesus is the Word. He was in the beginning with God. And so in verse 6 we're going to pick up, it says, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. Now, not the writer John the Baptist, or John the Baptizer is a better name. This man came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all through him might believe. He was not the light, but was sent to bear witness about the light. That was the true light, which gives light to every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. So that's talking about Jesus. And so, but as many received him, to them he gave them the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name. So this is all talking about Jesus and the gospel, that whoever believes in his name will receive the gift of becoming children of God. And so it says, if we're picking up in verse 14, it says, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. And John bore witness of him and cried out, saying that this was he of whom I said, he who comes after me is preferred before me. And of his fullness we have all received grace upon grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. Now this is the testimony of John the Baptist. When the Jews sent the priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who are you? He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not the Christ. And so the first time that they confront him and ask him about who he is, he says, I'm not Jesus. I'm not Jesus Christ. Like, that's not me. And so then we continue on. It says, and they asked him, what then are you? Are you Elijah? He said, I'm not. Are you a prophet? And he answered, no. And then they said to him, who are you, that we may give an answer to those who sent us? What do you say about yourself? And he said, I am the voice of the one crying out in the wilderness, make straight the pathways of the Lord. And so what does that even mean? that is a quote from the book of Isaiah. It's also mentioned in Matthew where John's mentioned. And basically, it talks about in Isaiah 40, I think it's Isaiah 40 verse 3. Let me look it up real quick. It says in Isaiah 40 verse 3, and it basically just describes what's going on in that time. So when kings would go out in the desert and they would be riding in their caravan, people would go before them and prepare the path. It says that they would knock down any hills of trouble. It would clear out the valleys and make straight the path, the easiest way to the destination that they were heading. And so this is who John said he was. He's the cleanup crew. He's cleaning up the path. He's making a way for Jesus to get to his destination, which is the cross. And so we see John, and we're like, this dude's a hippie. He's got like bugs and honey in his beard, and he just looks weird and he's different. But Jesus says, this is the greatest man to ever be born of a woman. What makes someone that title? Like, if I had that, like I said, it would be in my Instagram bio for sure. And so I think what makes him the greatest man ever to be born of a woman is that the simple fact that he never forgot his place. He always knew that this wasn't about him. It's about Jesus. And I think if we really look into that and we see this, all that's going on right now really isn't about us. It's about Jesus. And so if we look to the cross in these circumstances of stress, these circumstances of boredom and worry, we see that, guys, the whole echo of the New Testament is to deny yourself and follow Jesus. So how are some ways that we can do that this week? Because I know I'm struggling. Like, I will be the first one to say that I'm not reading as much as I should. I'm playing a lot more video games than I should. My sleep schedule's gone out the whack. I haven't looked at school in a week. So try to think of some ways that you can constantly be in the Word this week. Maybe you should make a devotional and we'll upload it to Prov, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. But yeah, just make a devotional. There's a lot of ways that we can continue to be in the Word in this time, even though we're struggling. And that's me. I'm struggling with it. Thank you, guys. I hope to see some of your devotionals. Y'all have a good day.